A tribal religion villager in India killed his 32-year-old niece with axe blows and stones last week, claiming she and her relatives had no right to ancestral farmland because they had become Christians, sources said. Bindu Sodhi of Toilanka village, Kotwarpura in Dantewada district, Chhattisgarh state had been the sole breadwinner for her mother, sister, younger brother, his wife, and their 2-year-old child. The surviving relatives cannot return home due to death threats. 2 weeks before the killing, Bindu Sodhi's uncle, Chetta Sodhi, and his son Kuma Sodhi intruded onto land belonging to her younger brother, Bhima Sodhi, sowing seeds on 1/3 of the parcel. When Bhima Sodhi submitted a complaint about the land takeover to Katakalian police on the advice of the Christian's pastor, Sudru Ramtelam, the station chief told him that he must go to the revenue department and the village registrar to resolve the issue, the pastor said. The revenue department officer summoned Chetta Sodhi, but he refused, Pastor Tellam said. The officer then ordered the village registrar to visit Chetta Sodhi's house to check the claim and determine the rightful owner. Bindu's younger sister, Arti Mandavi, said that the registrar faced opposition from Chetta Sodhi. Uncle told the registrar that because we have all become Christians, we have no right over the ancestral property, and therefore he refused to sign the papers the registrar was carrying, said Mandavi, a Christian who had lived with Bindu the past year. The revenue officer ordered a notice to be served to Chetta Sodhi to go to the collectorate office or else face action for non-compliance, Mandavi said. But it was all too late, said Pastor Tellam, saying Chetta Sodhi and his son went ahead and cultivated another portion of Bhima Sodhi's land. Bhima and the entire family were very disturbed at the way things were going. Bhima had no job. He took care of the farmland. They were not sure how long the revenue department proceedings would take. On the evening of June 24th, Bhima Sodhi, his wife Tulsi, Bindu Sodhi and her mother decided to cultivate the only portion of their land that was remaining before the uncle took it over as well, Pastor Tellam said. Someone saw them working their land and informed Chetta Sodhi, who quickly arrived with his son. With her mobile phone, Bindu Sodhi recorded her uncle picking up stones and charging at them. Bhima Sodhi and his mother hastily drove away from the field on the tractor, while Bindu Sodhi and Tulsi Sodhi fled on foot. While running, Bindu toppled over something and fell, Mandavi told to News. The mobile got thrown at a distance and Tulsi turned and picked up the phone and approached to help Bindu, but the uncle and his son reached Bindu and began to assault her. Tulsi Sodhi ran to hand the phone to Bhima Sodhi, who called police. The station chief, however, said that it was getting dark and that they would come only the next morning, Mandavi said. Bhima called a tribal Christian forum, and their head in turn called the police station in charge and insisted on them to go, explaining that the matter was serious, Pastor Tellam said. By the time police arrived with an ambulance, Mandavi said, the field was wet with Bindu's blood. Chetta Sodhi and his son assaulted Bindu Sodhi, striking her with stones and an axe besides beating and kicking her, witnesses said. He and his son left her half dead and began to go after Bhima Sodhi and his mother, Mandavi said. Bhima and mother hid themselves in someone's house to save their lives, she said. When uncle couldn't find them, they went back and once again started to assault Bindu until she was dead. Mandavi said she was shocked at the brutality of the assault, which left Bindu Sodhi with wounds on her face, head and neck. Some parts of her flesh from the cheeks were missing, Mandavi said, sobbing. She was hit by the axe several times at several places. They smashed her face with stones and brutally assaulted her until she bled to death on the field. Police sent her body for post-mortem to Dantewada, where the family was also taken. The next day, police arrested Chetta Sodhi. Officers arrested his son Kuma Sodhi on June 29. Police have registered First Information Report number 30/2024 for murder, Section 302, and criminal acts by several persons with common intention, Section 34, against Chhattisgarh and Kamasodi. A human rights activist in Delhi who requested anonymity said he called police on June 26 and learned about the FIR, but when he mentioned that there was opposition to Bindu Sodhi's Christian faith, the officer responded by saying that the accused and victim are from the same family and they had a dispute over the land. Pastor Telem refuted the police's claim, saying if the motives were only a family land dispute, then why did the police not let us bury Bindu in the village? Why did they want to avoid any sectarian tension by allowing her a Christian burial inside the village? There is no dubiousness about the Christian persecution angle behind the murder. Police pressure. After the burial on June 26, Pastor Telem told that police pressured the family to bury Bindu's body 19 miles from her native village. Sadly, the police did not take a stand for us nor gave us police protection to conduct the burial in their homeland, said Pastor Telem. Bindu's body was hastily transported from the mortuary to the burial place in Dantewada, and in no time the burial was conducted in the evening. He added that officers threatened to arrest him for objecting to the police's refusal to honor the family's wishes for a burial in the village. The police even threatened to put me in jail for 4 or 5 hours if I continued to encourage the family to demand the burial to be conducted in the village, he said. They said that I have poisoned the minds of the family members to conduct the burial in the village, and that is why the family is becoming stubborn about it. Bhima Sodhi and his family continuously received death threats from the villagers, who had been united in their desire to protect Kamasodi from arrest, Mandavi said. Before Kamasodi was arrested, villagers had said he would kill another member of the family if officers pursued him, she said. We are scared to go back, Mandavi said from the family's rented room nearly 20 miles outside the village. We will stay here for some days till the matter is settled. Bindu Sodhi was the only income-earning member of the family, said the pastor. Mandavi said her sister had taken over providing for the family after their father's death and never married, because she had to feed so many members. Bindu Sodhi had taken a job as a teacher at the village's government-sponsored child and mother care center under the Integrated Child Development Scheme. She was the first person from the Toilanka village to accept Christ, Pastor Telem said. It is because of her evangelism that 8 more families in that village came to Christ, he said. She was a great evangelist of our church.